validate an IP address. The question is, they give you IP address as string. Our task is to check the given IP address is valid or not. If it is valid, we return true, otherwise we return false. You know the IP address structure. In IP address, it have 4 parts and each parts are separated by dots and each part value lays from 0 to 255. Now, how we find a proper IP address? If you find a proper IP address, you must check these 5 conditions. I showed that 5 conditions. Uh, uh, these are all the 5 conditions. I explain each condition one by one. Before that, I take this IP address as input. Now I explain each condition. Uh, First condition is it must have 4 parts. That means a proper validate IP have only 4 parts. That means 172 is a first part, 16 is a second part, 254 is a third part, and 1 is the fourth part. In case an IP have less than uh, less than 4 parts or greater than 4 parts means it is an invalid IP. To see this, there is only 3 parts are available. So it is a invalid IP. So this is a first condition, and I tell the second condition. Each part length not greater than 3 and length is not equal to 0. That means I take in this IP address, I take the first part. The first part length is 3, so it is not greater than 3. Next, I take the second part. Its length is 2. It is also not greater than 3. And I take the third part. It is also not greater than 3. I take fourth part. It is also not greater than 3. So if an IP address each parts values are not greater than 3 means it is a valid IP. If any part greater than uh, 3 or 3 means it is an invalid IP, and length is not equal to 0. If any length is missing, if any that means if any part is missing means its length is 0, so we return it is a invalid IP. Now I tell the third condition. Each part must have only numbers. In IP address, it contains only numbers, then only it is a valid IP. If it contains any another characters like this, it is a invalid IP. It is a third condition. Then fourth condition is each part have range from 0 to 255. You see this IP in each part values are comes from 0 to 255. There is in this IP each parts each part value not lesser than 0 and not greater than 255. Okay, so it is a valid IP. You see this example, you take the first part 555, it is greater than 255, so it is not a valid IP, so it is an invalid IP address. Now I tell the fifth condition. If each part length greater than 1 means first character does not start with 0. You see the first part 101. Okay, this part length is 3. Okay, so this condition is satisfied. It is this part length greater than 1. Okay, now what I check is I check first character does not start with 0. I check the first character, it is not start with 0, it is 1. So it is a validate IP. You see this invalidate IP, this part length is 3, so this condition is satisfied. Now I check the first character does not start with 0 or not. So it is start with 0. So it is an invalidate IP. Does not start with 0. Okay. If it is start with 0, it is invalidate IP. Now you see this place, its length is 1. So it is not greater than 1. So it start from 0. There is no problem. Okay. These are all the 5 conditions. Now I start type to code. First I declare string array. I give it name parts. In this string array, I split this IP address by dots. Okay, dot split. Now parts array have these values, that is 172 at 0th index, 16 at first index, 254 at second index, and 1 at third index. Now we successfully separate that numbers. Okay. Now I check the first condition. It must have 4 parts. Okay. I check if this array length is not equal to 4 means I return false. That means it is an invalidate IP. So if parts dot length not equal to 4 means I return false. Okay, first condition. Okay, I check the second condition. What is the second condition? Each part length not greater than 3 and length is not equal to 0. Now I traverse the loop for string. I give it name as parts. Inside the loop I check on condition if part dot length is equal to 0 or part dot length is greater than 3 means I return false. That means in parts array we have 172, 16, 254 and 1. This each elements are come one by one at part variable. In this part variable I check first I check the length, it is equal to 0 or not, and I check that this part length is greater than 3 means I return false because it is an invalidate IP. Okay, this is the second condition. Now we check third condition. What is the third condition? Each part must have only numbers. Okay. First, now I convert the string into number. Okay, I declare a variable int and the value, I give it name as value is equal to integer dot parse int of part. I just convert the string into number. For example, first 172 172 first is 172 come. I check the length of 172, it is equal to 0 or not. It is not equal to 0, and I check it is greater than or 3, so this is also false, so this condition is not satisfied. Now uh, now I convert that string 172 string as number. Okay, now I successfully converted the string into number, and I hold that number into I hold that number into the variable value. Now value variable have that number. um, Sorry, I check the fourth condition, right? Yes, sorry, I check the fourth condition. Okay, I not check the third condition. Okay, I check the fourth condition. If the number is, what is the fourth condition? Each part have range from 0 to 255 only. Okay, now I check if the value lesser than 0 or the value greater than 255 means I return false. Okay, okay, we check that fourth condition. Okay, now we check the third condition. Okay, I use for loop. In this for loop, char c. Okay, char c. Now I convert the string into character array. Part dot to char array. Okay, inside the loop I check each character is number or not. If character dot is digit, if each character is not digit, if it is character means I return false. Okay, okay, then finally we check the fifth condition. If each part length greater than 1 means first character does not start with 0. After that I check if part dot length greater than 1 and part dot caret of 0, that is first character, is equal to 0 means I return false. That's all. Okay, then finally I return true. In this, if any condition satisfied in this for loop, we return false. That is, it is an invalid IP. If any condition satisfied in that loop, after end of the loop, we just return true. True means it is a valid IP. Okay, now I submit. Legal start of type return true. Number 69. Button, yeah. Return true. All the disk is passed up.